Interview 1.
Welcome to Arts and Culture Today. We're discussing the history and evolution of photography with Mr. Robert, a photography historian. Mr. Robert, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Photography has changed a lot since its invention. Can you give us an overview of how it all started?
Of course, photography began in the early 19th century with the invention of the camera obscura, which allowed people to project images onto surfaces, though it wasn't yet a method for capturing permanent images. The first real photograph, called a heliograph, was created in 1826 by Joseph Nic for Niepce. He used a bitumen-coated plate to capture an image, but the exposure time was about 8 hours. A significant breakthrough came with Louis Daguerre, who developed the daguerreotype in 1839. It greatly reduced exposure times and created much sharper images, but it was still a laborious process.
That's fascinating. How did photography become more accessible to the public?
The real turning point came with the invention of film and portable cameras. In 1888, George Eastman introduced the Kodak camera, which used a roll of film and allowed people to take multiple photographs without needing to process each image immediately. This revolutionized photography, making it accessible to the average person. By the mid-20th century, color photography became popular, and in the 1990s, digital cameras began to replace film cameras, offering even more convenience and instant results.
How has digital technology changed photography in recent years?
Digital technology has transformed the photography industry completely. With smartphones now having high-quality cameras, almost everyone has access to photography at their fingertips. The ability to edit and share images instantly through social media has also changed the way we think about photography. It's not just about capturing moments anymore now, it's about creating and curating a visual story for the world to see.
Interview 2.
Welcome to Language Learning Insights. Today, we're speaking with Dr. Emily, a linguistics expert, about the benefits of learning a new language. Dr. Emily, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk about language learning.
There are so many reasons people might want to learn a new language, but what are some of the key benefits you've found?
Learning a new language has both cognitive and social benefits. Cognitively, it improves memory, problem-solving skills, and even creativity. Studies have shown that bilingual individuals tend to have better concentration and multitasking abilities compared to monolinguals. Language learning also delays the onset of age-related cognitive decline, such as dementia, because it keeps the brain active.
And what about the social benefits?
The social benefits are just as important. When you learn a new language, you gain access to a whole new culture. It allows you to communicate with people you may not have been able to before, and it opens up opportunities for travel and international careers. Being able to speak another language makes it easier to make connections and build relationships across different cultures.
What do you think is the most effective way to learn a language?
There's no one-size-fits-all approach, but immersion is one of the best ways to learn. Being in an environment where you have to use the language daily forces you to think in that language. However, for most people, combining classroom learning with consistent practice and exposure to the language through media, such as movies, music, or books, can be very effective. The key is consistency and not being afraid to make mistakes. Interview 3.
Welcome to Tech Trends. Today, we're discussing the rise of esports and competitive gaming with Mr. David, and a sports analyst. Mr. David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting to talk about the growth of esports.
Esports has gained a lot of attention in recent years. Can you tell us how it has grown into the massive industry it is today?
Esports, or competitive video gaming, has been around for decades, but it really started to grow in the early 2000s with the rise of online gaming. The ability to compete with players from around the world via the internet changed everything. What started as small competitions grew into large-scale events with thousands of spectators, both in person and online. Today, esports tournaments attract millions of viewers globally, and professional players can earn substantial amounts of money through prize pools, sponsorships, and streaming platforms like Twitch.
Why do you think esports has become so popular?
There are a few reasons. First, video games are already a popular form of entertainment, so it was natural for some players to want to take it to the next level and compete professionally. Second, esports is accessible to everyone. You don't need a lot of expensive equipment or special skills to get started, which makes it appealing to a wide audience. Finally, esports offers a sense of community. Fans and players can connect through social media, live streaming, and events, which helps build a strong fan base.
What challenges does the esports industry face as it continues to grow?
One of the biggest challenges is regulation. Because esports is relatively new, there's still a lot of uncertainty about things like player contracts, prize distribution, and intellectual property rights. Additionally, like traditional sports, esports is facing issues related to player burnout and mental health. Many professional players spend long hours practicing, which can take a toll on their physical and mental well-being. The industry is starting to address these concerns, but there's still work to be done.